Okay.
Okay, so here is the earth.
Ready to cheers your empty mug?
Yep. Okay.
Okay. Welcome to Our Life in Books, where we talk about our lives, books, and everything in between. I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Samantha.
And we're cousins!
We support the Black Lives Matter movement. This human rights movement is so important to the growth of our society and to ending systemic racism towards the Black community. We want to use our platform to promote Black authors and share resources to educate those uninformed about the movement.
Black lives matter.
Black trans lives matter.
Black gay lives matter.
Black lesbian lives matter.
Black non-binary lives matter.
Black bi lives matter.
Black queer lives matter.
So, what tea are we drinking today, Elizabeth?
Today we are drinking the Irish breakfast tea from Tea Cellar. We opened this box on last week's
episode. Yeah,
Tea Chats episode.
Mm-hmm.
We got Irish breakfast and something else. I can't remember what something else. Oh, it was like that, like citrusy something.
Oh, yeah.
Which I do want to try sometime, but it's a green tea, and we needed some black tea for the, what's it called? Caffeine.
Yes,
the caffeine content today.
Yes, I definitely needed caffeine today.
This is the one that when I open it, I was like, it smells like grass. It doesn't taste like grass.
No, it tastes amazing. Still smells like grass.
It does.
And it's not like regular tea. It's like ground up tea.
It's like a little balls of tea.
Yeah.
It's not like usually it's leaves, and you can see how the leaf dried out, but it's like little rolled up balls of tea.
Yeah, I wonder why. Just cause. Maybe.
Yeah. I feel like that could be a deep dive episode.
Right?
Why are tea leaves, why do they look different in different situations? Nobody wants to listen to that.
No.
Okay.
So, what are you currently reading?
Oh my gosh, I didn't fill it in.
I know, that's why I said that.
I'm the freaking worst. You go first.
Okay, so I actually have ripped off the Band-Aid from... Should I wait till you're done?
Nope.
Looking?
Go ahead.
Okay, cool. So I ripped off the Band-Aid of reading, and I'm back to it with full force. I'm podcasting. I'm listening to podcasts. I'm listening to audiobooks on Libro.fm because I deep dived into that stuff, and they're amazing. And they're also super responsive on Twitter, so if you have any questions, reach out to them. Go follow them. It's amazing. So I read One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McGinnis. Yes. And it was so good. I've been wanting to read that book forever, and I kind of just never took the chance, and I don't know why. So I was like, you know what? I really want to read this book. I'm taking the chance. I went to Barnes & Noble and got it, and it was so good. And what I loved all the characters, and what I also liked about it is that there's a second, but you don't have, it might spoil the first one, but it's not like you have to read the next one.
Okay.
It goes into the sub-characters. Mm-hmm. In the next one. Okay. So I think that's so interesting. I'm still going to read it, but it's not like I have to do it right now.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't leave you hanging.
Exactly. So I don't know. Should I read the synopsis for these?
Sure. Why not?
Yep. So it's a breakfast club. See, that's why I feel like you'd like it. The Breakfast Club meets Pretty Little Liars. One of Us is Lying is a story about what happens when 5 strangers walk into detention and only 4 walk out alive.
Oh my God.
Everyone is a suspect and everyone has something to hide.
Did you read, what is that called? It's got 6 people on the cover in black and white, and then there's a red slash through it.
I definitely didn't, because I don't recognize that cover.
Okay, I'll look at it anyways.
Whoa, okay.
Because that's what the synopsis reminds me of a little bit.
So I want to read the rest of this because it's really cool.
Yeah, sorry.
Play close. Yeah, sorry. We've had caffeine. Just get ready for me to talk super fast.
We already drank our full cup, to be honest. So
pay close attention and you might solve this, which also I really like because I didn't solve it till they were already solving it, which, dang it, I like to solve it before the character.
Yeah.
On Monday afternoon, 5 students at Bayview High walked into detention. Browen, the brain, is Yale-bound and never breaks a rule. Addie, the beauty, is a picture-perfect homecoming princess. Nate, the criminal, is already on probation for dealing. Cooper, the athlete, is an all-star baseball pitcher, and Simon, the outcast, and is the creator of Bayview's notorious gossip app.
Oh my God, it does sound like Breakfast Club.
Right? Only Simon never makes it out of the classroom. Before the end of the detention, Simon's dead, and according to the investigators, his death wasn't an accident. On Monday, he died, but on Tuesday, he planned to post juicy reveals about all 4 of the high-profile classmates, which makes all of the 4 people suspects for his murder. Are they the perfect patsies for a killer who's still on the loose? everyone has secrets, right? What really matters is how far you would go to protect them.
Ooh.
It's so good. And there's so much character development and character changes. And I really enjoyed it.
Does it like flashback and like tell you about like, you know, the thing, like their interactions, like why he's going to be telling about these people?
No, it actually doesn't flashback. It's more of like, it happens and then like everyone's like protecting their secret and slowly the police find out the secrets and they all have to like come out. So it actually doesn't flash back.
Okay.
It does a little bit of like, oh, like maybe like they do a lot of like self-evaluating of why their secret was going to come out and why Simon was going to tell it and like all that kind of stuff. But it's really interesting. The sub characters like help a lot and also introduces characters where like, okay, but are they guilty or like what's going on with them? So I really enjoyed it.
The one I was talking about that I feel like if you like that, then you'll probably like this, All Your Twisted Secrets by Diana Urban.
Oh, okay. So I do own that. I got it on but I haven't read it. So I'll have to read that next.
That's the one that I said, and I can't remember exactly what my wording was. It's Saw meets something, and I can't remember what I said now.
You said Saw meets
Breakfast Club, maybe?
I want to say you said Saw meets Breakfast Club.
But it reminds me a lot of that, and that's why I asked about the flashbacks, because that's what this one does. Like, they're all stuck in this room together, and then you flash back to, like, their relationships prior to them getting stuck in this room, and, like, why, you know, maybe they're not getting along now, and, like, why tensions are so high.
See, that's the only thing, is this one wasn't very, like, murdery. Like, it wasn't, like, gruesome by any means. Yeah. It was more of, like, a mystery.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. And then I also listened to Stamped by Ibram X. Kendi and the YA version with Jason Reynolds in it because a podcast told me to and I listened. It was the Book Riot podcast YA, I'm pretty sure. And they just said that Jason Reynolds has a beautiful voice and that it's very passionate and he puts in his own 2 cents in there. And it was so eye-opening. He calls it a non-history book. He kept saying that. It's not a history book. But he says it as in the fact of like, it's not a white history book. All the history books we learned in school leave out giant narratives. It's only biased towards white people. Yeah. So it was so interesting to hear all these things and then to be able to apply them in my real life. Like at work, they wanted to post something about Abraham Lincoln on Juneteenth. And I said, no.
Oh my God.
And everyone's like, well, everyone knows about his implication. I go, that's exactly why you don't post about him. You post this on
Abraham Lincoln had a lot of terrible ideas.
And he also only did emancipation because it was going to help the war, not because he really like felt like they should do it. He wanted
to gather all the black people and send them back to Africa. Like...
And so I felt like...
But yeah, he's kind of touted as this hero.
And he's not.
No.
And I did try to make some notes, but I'm not a history person. I've never been. Dates and things don't stick in my brain.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
But I felt like I learned a lot. I bought it so I can listen to it again and learn even more. I also wrote down that I really need to read about Angela Davis because that's who they really pressed upon, that she was constant. She was for the Communist Party for a while, but other than that, like she never like swayed. And there's like also like differences between like segregationist, assimilationist, and anti-racist. I wrote that down because I did not know those words. Well, I knew anti-racist.
So, really quick before we like,
because you want to say you listened to this, you've started.
So you're reading. I ordered the adult version because the adult version is just with Abram X. Kendi. But if you are
It stopped.
If you are on Spotify, and you like pay for a Spotify,
I do
subscription.
Yeah.
The adult version is for free on there right now.
Shut up! That's awesome.
So that's where I started listening because my book.
And I don't think they differ a lot. I think the only difference is that like Jason Reynolds puts his little spins in there, and also like at the beginning they both like compliment, or at the beginning, Ibram X. Kendi introduces the book and explains what Jason is doing, and at the end, Jason talks about Ibram. I think that's the only difference.
I think there might be some, because one is YA, so I feel like...
They dumbed it down for me.
Well, I don't know, but they made... I don't know. They took it what they had and made it YA. You know? So I feel like it might be missing a few things,
but not dumbed down, but simpler. Because I mean,
but
honestly,
not anything important.
Yeah,
everything important stuff is still there.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, my copy's back ordered, so I started listening on Spotify.
Yeah.
Thanks to Nicole. Thanks, Nicole.
I
did. Yeah, on our family plan.
Oh, nice. So I put like my notes were like segregationist equals hater, assimilationist equals coward, and anti-racist is someone who truly loves. That's what he said. And he also like really pushed Angela Davis. I want to read about her. A bunch of presidents tried to get her fired and tried to kick her out of things. And I was like, you go, girl. I love women. So that sounds great. And like my other notes were like, I didn't know that Tarzan was written by a white racist guy who basically said Tarzan is a white baby grown up in Africa and has to protect a white lady named Jane from African people. Like that's where that story came from. There's a lot of other stories, and like Planet of the Apes is another racist thing that came out when people. It's just like it's a pattern. I saw a pattern, and that's why I'm like so. I want to be in the movement because I don't want that pattern to keep repeating. Right. And then I just put like I cried a lot after, and I didn't think that emotion was going to happen, but I cried, and I was like, it's just a very like for a cis white person to listen to, it's a very eye-opening thing, and you're like, I kind of was like, I felt stupid for not knowing that was happening.
Well, and it just makes me feel like I have a lot of educating to do with my kids because they're not going to get it in school.
No, they're not.
They're not going to get this. Exactly. They're going to get the history books that we got, which kind of glossed over all the slavery stuff.
Oh, it did.
And all the everything.
The Christopher Columbus stuff it glossed over, slavery.
Anything having to do with the Native Americans.
Anything that having to do with white people being wrong.
Right. Yeah, a lot of it was white savior stuff.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay, so I'm reading, I just finished, literally I finished it an hour before you came over to podcast.
Nice.
The Sullivan Sisters by Catherine Ormsby.
And I am currently reading this. I think I'm in, a couple chapters in.
Do you want me to read the synopsis or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Time changes things. That painful fact of life couldn't be truer for the Sullivan sisters. Once, they used to be close, sharing secrets inside homemade blanket castles. Now, life in the Sullivan house means closed doors and secrets left untold. 14-year-old Murphy, an aspiring magician, is shocked by the death of Siegfried, her pet turtle. 17-year-old Claire is bound for better things than her Oregonian hometown until she receives a crushing rejection from her dream college. And 18-year-old Eileen is nursing a growing addiction in the wake of life-altering news. Then, days before Christmas, a letter arrives informing the sisters of a dead uncle and an inheritance they knew nothing about. The news forces them to band together in the face of a sinister family mystery and possibly murder. It was really, really good. I read it really fast. I don't even know how many pages it actually is because I read it on ebook.
Oh yeah, I'm reading mine on ebook, and it feels like it's going pretty fast. I'm at the part where they just got into a car. Okay. The first when they're leaving the house. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
And I noticed on Goodreads it's filed under thriller, which it's not. It's a mystery, but it's more of family secrets type of mystery. So if you read it, don't go in thinking that this is going to be edge of your seat thriller the whole time. Yeah. It's mostly about the sisters and their relationships with each other and all the secrets they're keeping from each other.
Yeah, and I looked up the because I didn't know what genre, and so I covered the synopsis, which and then I went back now and I'm like, oh, I already know all that stuff. And everyone was I saw complaining about how this isn't a thriller, and I was like, yeah, I kind of feel like it's a contemporary mystery, just how it's set up, you kind of feel like I got the vibe of contemporary mystery. So
yeah, I don't know who shelved it as thriller, but it's not a thriller.
No, but I'm excited to see what happens. And what were your thoughts? Did you enjoy it?
I really liked it.
Okay, cool.
I like this. I don't know. I like sibling stories like that. Yeah. And I don't know. I just thought it was really good because each of them, they're very different people, and so you see them change and grow throughout the story.
Yeah, and I also want to know what happened. You know what I mean? You want to know why they're not close anymore, and if they can become close again, and all this stuff. So I like the mystery aspect. And I didn't think it was going to be a thriller.
I got to the end, And like, this isn't spoilery, but I got to the end and realized like this is one of the first YA books I've read in a long time that didn't have a romance part to the story.
I know. I'm excited that there isn't.
So it was
I know,
really good. I'm a fan.
That's awesome. I'm so excited. I'll let you guys know how I felt about it.
Yeah.
Next.
Okay, Kindle Unlimited.
Yes. So I chose Chaos Seed series by, I can't remember how to say his name. Aileron Kong. Yes, that's correct. And so all 8 books in the series are all under Kindle Unlimited. The 8th book just came out in January of this year.
Holy buckets.
And it's a fiction fantasy.
What's the series called again? Chaos Seeds?
It is called Chaos Seeds. And then the first one is called The Landing Founding. And it's fiction fantasy. Welcome, my friends. Welcome to the land. Tricked into a world of banished gods, demons, goblets, spirits, and magic, which I was like, yes. Do you say Richter? That's how I say Richter. Okay. Richter must learn to meet the perils of the land and begin to forge his own kingdom. Actions have consequences across the land, with powerful creatures and factions now hell-bent on Richter's destruction. Can Richter forge alliances to survive this harsh and unforgiving world, or will he fall into the dark denizens of this ancient and unforgiving realm? A tale to shake the land itself, measuring 10 out of 10 on Richter scale. How will Richter choices shape the future of the land and all who reside in it? Can he grow his power to meet the deadliest of beings on the land? When choices are often a shade of gray, how will Richter ensure he does not become what he seeks to destroy? P.S. Gnomes rule.
Oh, dang. I love all the different, like, magical beings.
Me too. And I just thought it was really cool. It's kind of rare to see, like, all the series is on Kindle Unlimited. So I was like, I definitely want to highlight this one.
Heck yeah.
And also, it is a Black author.
Yes. So my pick for Prime Reading,
yes.
I couldn't get that out, is Dread Nation by Justina Ireland.
Shut up.
When I saw that was on there, I was like, what?
That's crazy.
Because I still haven't read it. It's a alternate history.
Yeah.
With zombies.
I love zombies. That's so cool. And the covers are sick.
Yeah. All right, so here's the synopsis. Jane McKean was born 2 days before the dead began to walk the battlefields of Gettysburg and Chancellorsville, derailing the war between the states and changing America forever. In this new nation, safety for all depends on the work of a few, and laws like the Native and Negro Re-Education Act require certain children attend combat schools to learn to put down the dead. But there are also opportunities, and Jane is studying to become an attendant, trained in both weaponry and etiquette to protect the well-to-do. It's a chance for a better life for Negro girls like Jane. After all, not even being the daughter of a wealthy white Southern woman could save her from society's expectations. But that's not a life Jane wants. Almost finished with her education at Miss Preston's School of Combat in Baltimore, Jane is set on returning to her Kentucky home and doesn't pay much mind to the politics of the eastern cities, with their talk of returning America to the glory of its days before the dead rose. But when families around Baltimore County begin to go missing, Jane is caught in the middle of a conspiracy, one that finds her in a desperate fight for her life against some powerful enemies, and the restless dead, it would seem, are the least of her problems.
It sounds so good.
It really does. I love stories that take like a historical point in time and flip it.
Yeah, me too.
And that's what this does. And I can't believe I haven't read it yet. So now that it's on Prime Reading, I'm like, what's my excuse?
Yeah, exactly. I also love zombies, so I'm down.
Yeah, right?
Okay, so book news. We're just kind of going to go over some of the just talk about them briefly. Yeah. The first one, do you want to take that? It's Juneteenth.
Yeah, Juneteenth Book Fest. This was started and put together by L.L. McKinney. It sounds like she had the idea like at the beginning of June and wanted to do a virtual book fest because of, all the things happening in the world right now, like COVID.
Yep.
And she put this book fest together in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All the videos are live on YouTube right now.
Yep.
You can go watch all the interviews. There's different topics. There's a ton of authors involved. And then they also have a bookshop store, and you can buy books by Black authors.
Exactly. And in the YouTube videos, the links are all in the description, so you can click on the link and it'll take you to that video's like books. And it's pretty great. I've been diving into Bookshop. I actually became an affiliate. You should too. You can create your own like bookshelves for people to go to. So I have one of like, do we already have it?
Sorry, no, I was just sitting there with my mouth open. I'm
oh,
so sorry.
I thought you already had it. And you're like,
No.
stop talking.
No,
but it's really cool. And I like that it raises money for local bookstores.
So I got on the Juneteenth, their bookshop, and I ordered L. McKinney's books because I realized I only have them as ARCs and I never got finished copies.
Oh, I did.
So I got
The
those
race
two, but I was just sitting here with my mouth open because the third book, A Crown So Cursed, has a cover and you can pre-order it on there.
Oh, I didn't know you could pre-order it.
Yeah. I was like, what? I did not know about this, so now I'm going to pre-order.
Where? I know. I want to buy, in my cart is a Phoenix First Must Burn and a couple others that we're going to talk about today. But I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Okay.
And then there is on Goodreads, there is a list called an anti-racist reading list, 20 highly rated nonfiction books by Black authors. So you want to talk about race is one. I got that on Libro.fm. How to Be Anti-Racist by Ibram X. Kendi is on there. So there's a bunch of, like, we just want to give you a bunch of,
Hood
like,
Feminism, that's a huge one by Mickey Kendall. That's one that a lot of people on Bookstagram are reading right now.
Okay. I love that. So there's just a list that you can go to and check out. All right. Do you want to talk about the next one?
Sure. Epic Reads has a list of 55 Black-owned bookstores that need our support right now. I know that I shared a list too, and I'm pretty sure it's very similar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a list of bookstores. So if you're looking for bookstores to help support right now, this is where you can go. I know
we're both supporting Semicolon.
Yep, Semicolon Bookstore. I'm trying to find the one because before I found out that Semicolon was, semi-close to us.
Yeah.
Semicolon is semi-close to us. I was supporting Uncle Bobby's, and that's in Philadelphia. So I don't know why that one stuck out to me. It was just called Uncle Bobby's. And I was like,
yeah, I like that.
So that was the one I was, but there's 55 bookstores. So you can spread the love around. You can pick different ones for each book you purchase.
Yep.
Or
on Libro FM, you can choose what bookstore you support. On Bookshop, it just, whatever, spreads it out. So that's great.
Yeah.
Another list on Epic Reads is 17 new YA books by Black authors to support now and always. So you can scroll through there, see what they've got. Felix Ever After is on there. Yes. A Song of Wraith and Ruin. A Song Below Water. The Black Flamingo. All the great YAs out there. It's just another one that I just like all the lists that are coming out.
Yeah. Because, if you want to help support, you have to start somewhere.
Exactly. So, and it's nice that there's a curated list for us to
there's a lot of yeah, and there's a lot of different lists.
Yes.
One thing before we get into all of our books that we're going to talk about that I really want to emphasize is there's been Black authors tweeting this that say it much better than I do, but it's very important for people to read not just stories like The Hate U Give or nonfiction books about racism and Black experience, but it's important for people to read stories where the protagonist is a Black person living their life or fighting monsters or, just everyday things, not just in trauma situations.
Oh, basically. Exactly. And maybe you're feeling like Black people have felt forever that, I just think, growing up not seeing yourself as a Barbie or as a Cabbage Patch Kid, that's insane. And just because you can still see yourself in the character.
Yeah.
Because no, we're not different. The color of our skin doesn't change who we are.
Right. Experiences are different, but we have...
Experiences are different, but I'm saying fantasy.
Right.
Sorry,
but
fantasy.
We have all the same, emotions and,
heartbreak. Our heartbreak's the same. So it's just that check them out. So they deserve.
Yeah, it's important to read
their notoriety.
The fiction stories too. The fictions about, Black people falling in love or like we said, fighting monsters. Fighting. So as important as all the nonfiction books are, these are important too.
Yes, definitely.
So our next list to you comes from Penguin Random House. It's 33 books by contemporary Black authors. And this is a list of both fiction and nonfiction.
Yes.
There's a ton of books on here too. I think at the top I saw The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett, which got in one of my last Book of the Month Club orders. I was using up my
points. Yeah.
I was trying to see what else is on here that like I have on my list too. I don't know. A lot of these are new for me, I guess.
Yeah.
Black Leopard, Red Wolf by Marlon James. Ever since that book came out, like I freaking love the cover.
Yeah.
So I'm drawn to that one.
I really like the cover of Here For It by R. Eric Thomas.
Ooh.
It's essays turned hysterical and heartful. And the cover is like throwing up confetti, which I just think is so cute.
I have this book that obviously I really need to get read, but it's called We Cast a Shadow by Maurice Carlos Ruffin. I don't know why that was so hard for me to say. But I have that one on my shelf.
Yeah.
Like a lot of these are just bringing to light books that I really
one book that I really want to read and I haven't yet is Born a Crime by Trevor Noah.
Yes.
I love Trevor Noah and I just would love to hear about his life.
I wonder if he reads the audiobook.
He does, but it's only on Audible.
Oh, okay.
It's only on Audible, but he does read it and I love when people do that.
Yes, because then you can hear the story with their own inflections.
Well, and they can also like stop and tell an inside stuff.
Yeah.
So I like that too. Okay, the next link that we're going to talk about is the rest of them are Riveted by Simon Teen. The first one is Black Stories Matter, books by Black authors you should read ASAP. And it's another list of Jason Reynolds is on there, Kira Johnson. We both have this one by Christina Hammonds Reed, The Black Kids. Love that cover. Also Legendborn by Tracy Dion. It's on NetGalley. I think you really should request it because I already pre-ordered this book and it doesn't come out till September.
Holy cow.
It's about it's like a modern day twist on King Arthur.
Ooh.
Right? And I just think it sounds so
I love the cover.
good. So, yeah, definitely. And there's so many others on here that some I hadn't even heard of, you know?
Yeah.
Daughters of Jubilation by Carolee Corthan. I never heard that.
So this next list that we're going to talk about has a lot of the same books because it's upcoming books by Black authors that we can't wait for you to read. So it has a lot of the same. The Black Kids, it has Legendborn, it has Daughters of Jubilation, the Meet Cute Project. That sounds like that would be up your alley.
That does sound up my alley.
So yeah, this one has a lot of the same books. But
and then the second to last link is Black booktubers and bookstagrammers you should be following. So I just thought that was really cool. And I haven't gone through yet, but I'm gonna go through and start following a crud ton of people. I want to see if this, because I've started following a couple people. Oh, here we go. Here's Bookstagrammers that are really interactive and fun to chat with. Oh, she's not on the list. Her and I have been chatting back and forth because she posted I think it was on her stories that was like, hey, introduce yourself to me. It's TUMA Books and Things. Tumas? Because her name is TUMA. Is it Tuma? I'm not sure. But anyway, her and I have been talking back and forth, and she posts a lot of like questions on her Bookstagram where she'll be like, let's talk, and in the comments like everyone's responding, and she has like a lot of conversations. And then she's also one that started Tuma's Book of the Month. So every month she picks 5 books that, not like Book of the Month Club where they're just brand new this month. She picks 5 books that some are new, some are old, some are like for they're YA, some are adult, but they're all by women of color. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
And then the last link is Black-owned bookstores to buy from and follow on social media.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like other links, but some people might have highlighted other book, you know what I mean? So just kind of getting them all out there for
spread
people.
the love.
Yes, spread the love always, not just today, not just this month, but forever.
Yes.
Now to our topic.
Okay.
All right. We're 36 minutes and we've got 30 minutes.
Oh, God. Okay.
Because we have so many to talk about. And I know we haven't even scratched the surface of a great list.
Right. But so what we did, we made we made a list.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a lot, but it's obviously not inclusive. Like, it's not that's not the word I mean. It's not everything.
Yeah.
Like, this is just a list of a lot of the ones that jumped out to us.
Yes, and that are on our TBRs, or we own, or we pre-ordered already, so.
And then we had to pare it down further and each pick 5.
Because, or else we'll be here for 4 hours, and no one's going to listen to a 4-hour podcast.
I think as we're going through, we're going to mention the others.
Yes, we're going to
kind of sprinkle them in there.
We're going to have to, because we can't not.
Right. And I just want to say before we start, there are 2 types of people in this world. One person, one type who says it's alphabetical order and alphabetizes by first name. And then there are people who alphabetize by last name like a normal human being.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Because I read it and it was like, okay, alphabetical order. I was like, this is not alphabetical order.
I'm just going to remove that from the document.
And then it's not alphabetical order because even in your little, it doesn't go by alphabetical order.
Oh, it doesn't.
Okay.
Well, you know what?
You're welcome.
They're in random order.
Thanks for coming.
My bad. My bad. Honestly, I was just kind of so into this, I didn't even see that I did that.
I'm just so used to it, and this is so nerdy, but because of my job, because I do payroll for people, and we always go by last name, it's always last name
I do
first.
oral histories, and we always do last names. I don't know what I was doing on this, to be honest.
We just wanted to do it.
Yep. We just want, okay. So the first one in an order that is not alphabetical.
It's alphabetical by first name.
It's not, because it's not alphabetical.
No,
and
but it... No. Okay, that's fine.
The first letter. The first letter of their name is Alicia. Is it Alicia Dow?
I think so.
That's how I say it. I'm sorry, Alicia, if it's not how you say it. The Sound of Stars. I got this on
right?
NetGalley. I haven't read it yet.
Okay.
I got it on NetGalley and I started it, and then I went through my book slump. But it's... The cover is beautiful, and I actually got to listen to her talk on one of the Juneteenth Book Fest. And she's just so awesome, and just seems like such a cool person, and I want to be her friend. So I think I'm probably gonna pick this book up after The Sullivan Sisters.
I love the cover.
Me
of this
too.
So much,
and it's like romance and aliens, and I love it so much.
And it's got LGBTQ rep too.
Exactly. So she just got all of the things. And so it says, can a girl who risks her life for books and an alien who loves forbidden pop music work together to save humanity?
What? That's the hook line?
That's the hook line. I know. And I know I've read this before, so I'll go quick. Because I can't stop talking about her book. 2 years ago, a misunderstanding between the leaders of Earth and the invading Elori resulted in deaths of 1/3 of the world's population. 17-year-old Janelle Ellie Baker survives in an Elori-controlled center in New York City. Deemed dangerously volatile because of their initial reaction to the invasion, humanity's emotional transgressions are now grounds for execution. All art, books, and creative expression are illegal, but Ellie breaks the rules by keeping a secret library.
Yes.
When a book goes missing, Ellie is terrified that the Elori will track it back to her and kill her. Born in a lab, Morris, who was raised to be emotionless, when he finds Ellie's illegal library, he's duty bound to deliver her for execution. The trouble is, he finds himself drawn to the human music and in desperate need for more. They're both breaking the rules for the love of art. Ellie inspires the same feelings in him that music does. Ellie's and humanity's fates rest in the hands of an alien she should fear. Morris has a lot of secrets, but also a potential solution thousands of miles away. The two embark on a wild and dangerous road trip with a bag of books and their favorite albums, all while making a story and a song of their own that just might save them both.
Oh my
Doesn't it
God.
sound so good?
Yes, it really does. Is this a standalone?
Yeah.
What?
I know. So good. Okay.
I don't think I have a copy, but I really
You
need
need
one.
to get a copy.
I really need one.
It's beautiful.
Holy
and
buckets.
it kind of like Siobhan Davis's I can't think of the Alien series mixed with Amy and
Roger's
Epic Tour.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So a little bit of alien invasion, a little bit of tour with
like
music.
road trip.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh my God.
Okay, you want to just go and name them?
Oh yes. Okay.
We
So
can go every
our
other?
honorable mentions.
Yes.
Angie Thomas, The Hate You Give, and On the Come Up.
And they might have more books. This is just kind of like what the one that stuck out to us.
Right.
Anthony Bedelli is By Sea and Sky.
Ashley Woodfolk, When You Were Everything.
Okay, so your next one is?
All right, so my next one is A Song Below Water by Bethany C. Morrow. I didn't realize until just recently, apparently I got approved on NetGalley for this. So I really need to get on and read it.
Yes.
But I also pre-ordered a copy. So
I did too.
There's that. Okay. Tavia is already at odds with the world, forced to keep her siren identity under wraps in a society that wants to keep her kind under lock and key. Never mind, she's also stuck in Portland, Oregon, a city with only a handful of black folk and even fewer of those with magical powers. At least she has her bestie Effie by her side as they tackle high school drama, family secrets, and unrequited crushes. But everything changes in the aftermath of a siren murder trial that rocks the nation. The girl's favorite internet fashion icon reveals she's also a siren, and the news rips through their community. Tensions escalate when Effie starts being haunted by demons from her past, and Tavia accidentally lets out her magical voice during a police stop. No secret seems safe anymore. Soon Portland won't be either.
I love it.
I love that it mixes contemporary life with fantasy.
Exactly. And magical realism is great. Also, Bethany C. Morrow is one of those women who I got to listen to that first Juneteenth video, and she talks about the cover and how the hairs intertwine and one eye open versus one eye closed means something, and how she just, I don't know, she just talks about the cover in such passion. It's so great. I
was drawn to it because mermaids, because everyone kept calling it a mermaid story, but it's really a siren story, right?
Well, some people think that sirens or mermaids are intertwined. I think
they're different creatures.
So do I. Okay.
What do I know?
More honorable mentions.
Yes.
Brandy Colbert, Finding Yvonne, and The Voting Booth.
Finding Yvonne was really good. I love that.
Really?
Book.
Oh, it looks so good. And The Voting Booth looks so cute. Okay.
Brittany Morris's Slay.
I really want to read this book. She was part of the video as well.
Yeah.
And it just looks so
I love the cover of this one too.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
And she's Kira is a game developer, and you know how I love like when girls are like into like tech and nerd stuff. I'm down.
Yes.
Next is Cameron Garrett's Full Disclosure.
And then we have Celeste Hart's Conquest, the Dragonbone series.
Yes, and I put Dragonbone series because it's about dragons, and I think it's so exciting. The next is Christina Hammond's Read, The Black Kids, that comes out September 1st.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
And then Let's Talk About Love by Claire Can, which I'm pretty sure I have an arc of that one.
I think so. Yeah.
And I think that one has ace rep too, I believe. Asexual representation.
Did I not link the right one?
I think you did.
Okay.
Let's Talk About Love.
Yep, there it is. It didn't come out for me. Oh, yeah.
Yay.
LGBT, yeah. Okay, and then the next one by Charles M. Blow, Fire Shut Up in My Bones, and it's a memoir.
I'm pretty sure he's got quite a few books.
He does, yes.
Okay, and next we have Hide and Seeker by Daka Herman, and that's a middle grade, and it comes out in September.
And the next is Dorothy Must Die and Stealing Snow and Many Others from Danielle Page.
Yay. Okay, and then next is your pick.
Yes, so it is The Black Flamingo by Dean Atta. So I was really drawn to the cover.
Yes.
It's so pretty. And
I've seen a couple different covers for this one.
Yes, there is.
Because I think the one you linked is maybe the UK version.
Yes, that is the UK version, which another thing I've learned on the videos from Juneteenth, this is why they're so important to listen to, is that sometimes in the UK they have issues with whitewashing, which I did not know.
No, I didn't know that either.
Yes, they do. So that's why there's two covers, because sometimes they have to fight. And like you'll notice like on Cinderella is Dead, which we'll get to, that her cover looks a little lighter in the UK versions. And it was a thing that they had to deal with. Yes. So this book is LGBT queer. I love it. I'm so excited. I masquerade in makeup and feathers, and I am applauded. A boy comes to terms with his identity as a mixed-race gay teen. Then, at university, he finds his wings as a drag artist, the Black Flamingo, a bold story about the power of embracing your uniqueness. Sometimes we need to take charge, to stand up, wearing pink feathers to show ourselves to the world in bold color.
Oh, I love that. That just came out this year, too.
Yeah, so it has poetry in it, and Dean is like so active on Twitter. He asks questions. He opens, like, he has an open sort of forum about asking questions. So he said, like, a lot of people call his book the Pink Flamingo, and he wondered if that's kind of a bias, like a non like, so people don't, when they're like, oh, you know, that book you wrote, the Pink Flamingo, he said, you know, do you think that's some sort of like big bias in their brain they don't realize? And it's just like he opens these questions that make you think, and I just really, and he asks questions like, do you like that, because he gives like a warning on his on the front of the book. I pre-ordered this, but he put the picture up. I ordered this, not pre-order. But he just asks questions about things, and I find that very fascinating, and not really a lot of authors do. And I think, again, we've talked about this, if an author is open and talkative and interactive with their audience, it makes me love them even more.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's why I picked this one.
Yay. Okay, our next honorable mention is Truly, I can't see it, Truly Madly Royally by Debbie Rigaud.
Yeah, that's how I said it. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the next one's yours.
Yes, The Bells by Danielle Clayton. I know I've talked about it on here before, but it's such a lush fantasy story, and I love, some of my favorite fantasy books have this same, I don't even know what to call it. It's not a trope, but where everything is lush and pretty, but then underneath is like dark.
Is it weird when you talk about this? I think of the Hunger Games, when it's like the
oh yeah,
the whatever it's called, like the elites, and how they like are all like gaudy outfits, and there's so much food, and it's like very overindulgence of everything. I was gonna ask you that because I want to order this book, but I was like, you always kept saying like, but it's dark underneath, and I kind of wanted to ask you what you meant by that. Like, you could explain to someone who's gonna buy this book,
where like things aren't always what they seem. And everyone is only beautiful because, well, I'm sure it gets to it in the synopsis, but everyone that is beautiful is only that way because the bells make them that way.
Oh, so the bells is a thing,
it's
a person?
Yeah. It's like people. I think there's 8 of them.
Okay,
or something.
that's so cool. Okay, that makes me want to read it more. I didn't understand it. Could you read the synopsis?
Yes. Camilla Beauregard is a belle. In the opulent world of Orleans, belles are revered, for they control beauty, and beauty is a commodity coveted above all else. In Orleans, the people are born gray. They are born damned, and only with the help of a belle and her talents can they transform and be made beautiful. But it's not enough for Camilla to just be a belle. She wants to be the favorite, the belle chosen by the Queen of Orleans to live in the royal palace, to tend to the royal family in their court, to be recognized as the most talented belle in the land. But once Camilla and her belle sisters arrive at court, it becomes clear that being the favorite is not everything she always dreamed it would be. Behind the gilded palace walls live dark secrets, and Camilla soon learns that the very essence of her existence is a lie, that her powers are far greater and could be more dangerous than she ever imagined. And when the queen asks Camilla to risk her own life and help the ailing princess by using belle powers in unintended ways, Camilla now faces an impossible decision. With the future of Orleans and its people at stake, Camilla must decide, save herself and her sisters in the way of the bells, or resuscitate the princess, risk her own life, and change the ways of her world forever.
So is it like magical realism, or is it actually like fantasy?
It's fantasy, yeah. It's all in a fantasy world.
Okay, and then another question is, when they say like, so did they make the bells and then give them powers, or they already have powers?
No, I think they're born with them, if I remember correctly.
And then they turn them beautiful.
Everyone is born gray, like this just washed out gray color. And they have to go to the bells to add color to their skin and their hair and make them
everyone
look
has
beautiful.
to?
Yeah.
Can they choose not to do it?
I think there's people who don't, and then there's like obviously the rich who can afford to do it.
Yeah.
And who have like their personal bells that do it for them, and then people change their look all the time too.
Oh, that makes sense. Cool. Oh my god, now I definitely want to read it.
But then so as she like gets further up in it, she's realizing that everything she's been told her whole life is a lie. Like things are not what they seem.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds so good. You guys need to go check that out.
So good.
Okay, the next one is Echo Brown, and she wrote Black Girl Unlimited.
And then we have Elizabeth Acevedo. She wrote Clap When You Land and With the Fire on High.
And so many other things.
Right.
The next book is E.B. Zaboy, and she wrote American Street.
And then we have Jason Reynolds with All American Boys, but he also wrote a ton of other things. I really want to read the elevator one.
Yeah.
The Long Way Down.
Yes.
I think.
You can click on his name. It's linkable to his Goodreads.
Oh, yes.
Yep, Long Way Down.
I really want to read that one because a lot of his books are written in verse. And I just think it's just so interesting to read an entire story in verse.
Mm-hmm. I did write after listening to Stamp that he has a beautiful voice and I want him to narrate my life.
And then I also just got his book in the mail for the boys called Look Both Ways, A Tale Told in 10 Blocks. It's a middle grade book.
Yeah, I remember you saying
it's about kids walking home from school and each of their different stories.
Yeah, I love that. And we also got to, like we said, listen to him talk at BookCon.
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing. And it was like just being in the vicinity of him made you want to listen to him. He's very passionate.
Yes.
And my next pick is The Opposite of Always by Justin A. Reynolds. We got to meet him at the Epic Reads event in Iowa City. I really hope that Epic Reads and other places come to Iowa more. We definitely will travel there. And I haven't got to read this, but it is on like my little stack of to read soon.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just remember listening to Justin talk. And he just seems so passionate.
Yes.
And so humbled that he was like, oh, I just wrote this book. And I'm like, are you kidding? Like, writing a book is hard.
He seems just so passionate about life.
Yes. And about he used to be, or still is.
A nurse, right?
Does he if you're not practicing, you're still a nurse. So he's a nurse.
Right.
And just talking about his, what's happened in his life, which is so great.
And his different experiences working in nursing.
Yes, which has to be such a difficult thing. He said, he used to sit there and with patients who don't have visitors and patients that are critical, and it's just
because he was the one that kept running over on his time.
Yes,
because there was 4 authors and I think they moved while all the groups stayed.
Yes,
and he kept going over on his time, but you could tell he just has that passion for life and talking about.
And he's just a talker, which I love.
Right.
So this was his debut novel. He delivers a hilarious and heartfelt novel about the choices we make, the people we choose, and the moments that make life worth reliving. When Jack and Kate meet at a party, bonding until sunrise over their mutual love of Fruit Loops and their favorite flicks, Jack knows he's falling hard. Soon, she's meeting his best friends, Jillian and Franny, and Kate wins him over as easily as she did Jack. But then Kate dies, and their story should end there. Yet Kate's death sends Jack back to the beginning, the moment they first met, and Kate's there again, healthy, happy, and charming as ever. Jack isn't sure if he's losing his mind. Still, if he has a chance to prevent Kate's death, he'll take it, even if that means believing in the time travel. However, Jack will learn that his actions are not without consequence, and when one choice turns deadly for someone else close to him, he has to figure out if he's willing to save what he has to figure out what he's willing to do to save the people he loves.
So I think that's the reason I keep putting this one off is because I'm
gonna cry.
Right? I know I'm gonna cry.
Oh yeah, because of we've all felt that in some capacity.
I feel like this is the butterfly effect, but the romance version.
Exactly. And a little bit of obviously magical realism because time travel.
Right. But what are his actions gonna do to,
exactly. And then he has to seems like he's gonna have to choose.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you choose? How do you choose? So it sounds so good.
Mm-hmm. It really does. Our next honorable mention is Sing Unburied Sing by Jessamine Ward. She has wrote a lot of other books as well. This is her most recent that again I have a copy of, and it's got to move to the top of the TBR.
And then you're next.
Yes, Felix Ever After by Case and Calendar. I know I've talked about this one. I'm pretty sure maybe last week even.
I think so, but I want to talk about it again because I also ordered this.
It's so good.
The cover is so cute.
I love the cover. I love this character. I love almost all the characters in this book.
Yeah.
They're all freaking adorable. There's just, you know how there's just these little cinnamon roll characters that you just want to hug and
you want to be their mom. I forgot. Yep.
That's the hard part about reading YA right now is there's a lot of characters where I'm like, I will be your mom.
I will
especially
hug you.
him.
Yeah.
Because he's he goes through a lot of issues with his mom.
Oh.
So let me read the synopsis for you.
Okay.
From Stonewall. Oh no, nope, that's not where I'm gonna start. Felix Love has never been in love, and yes, he's painfully aware of the irony. He desperately wants to know what it's like and why it seems so easy for everyone but him to find someone. What's worse is that even though he is proud of his identity, Felix also secretly fears he's one marginalization too many, Black, queer, and transgender, to never get his own happily ever after. When an anonymous student begins sending him transphobic messages after publicly posting Felix's dead name alongside images of him before he transitioned, Felix comes up with a plan for revenge. What he didn't count on, his catfish scenario landing him in a quasi-love triangle. But as he navigates his complicated feelings, Felix begins a journey of questioning and self-discovery that helps redefine his most important relationship, how he feels about himself. Felix Ever After is an honest and layered story about identity, falling in love, and recognizing the love you deserve. It's so adorable, the journey he goes through, because it's not like a transition journey.
Yeah. He's already there. He already
there.
knows who he is and loves it. Love that.
That part of him.
Mhm.
But he's still struggling with how he identifies as far as his sexual identity,
Yeah.
I guess. And so he's kind of grappling with that the whole time. But he's also got issues with his mom and sometimes his dad.
Yeah.
And I just want to hug him. I just want to hug him. That's all I want.
I can't wait to read that one. Okay, my next pick is Cinderella is Dead by Kaylin Bayron. It is a YA fantasy with LGBT, and it's a retelling.
Yes. I think, did we both get this on NetGalley?
I
just trying to say like 5 words at once.
I got declined, but I already pre-ordered it, and it has pre-order swag, and it's really cool. So you guys should pre-order it. Thank you.
Comes out in July.
Yes, and she was also a part of the Juneteenth video that I watched. So she's amazing. It's 200 years after Cinderella found her prince, but the fairy tale is far from over. Teen girls are now required to appear at the annual ball, where the men of the kingdom select wives based on the girls' display of finery. If the suitable match is not found, the girls not chosen are never heard from again. 16-year-old Sophia would much rather marry Aaron, her childhood best friend, than parade in front of suitors. At the ball, Sophia makes the desperate decision to flee and finds herself hiding in Cinderella's mausoleum. There, she meets Constance, the last known descendant of Cinderella and her stepsisters. Together, they vow to bring down the king once and for all, and in the process, they learn there's more to Cinderella's story than they ever knew. This fresh take on a classic story will make readers question the tales they've been told and root for girls to break down the constructs of the world around them. And in the video, I haven't listened to the whole thing, but she said this is Cinderella's deceased, and this is after.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the same realm that we've all grown up with.
Right.
But it's like what happened after all of that.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
It's so good.
Because I really love origin stories.
Yes.
But then this is also really cool to see what
you never think about that. The fairy tale,
Right.
they have ever after. Well, what happens?
maybe for them.
Exactly.
But what about the rest of the world?
Exactly.
Oh, I love that.
Ugh.
Okay, you said you were going to mention something about the cover.
Oh, so yes, the cover. If you go down, there's Cinderella is Dead, and it's the UK, and you'll notice that it has a light blue cover,
Mm-hmm.
and so she kind of pointed out that the girl on the cover has lighter tones in her skin, and that they all kind of agreed that this kind of happens with UK editions,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a lot lighter, but she said she worked on it with them.
That's good. Because I do like the cover.
I like the blues.
Right. The blues are pretty, like things in her hair, and she's got like the scrapes on her face and
Yeah,
stuff.
it looks, and I think maybe that was some, like, I don't know, but I kind of want both covers.
Right.
But
they're both
it sucks
pretty.
that she had to fight for that,
Right. Yeah, that's just unfortunate.
Yes.
I mean,
yes. All right.
okay, next honorable mention is I'm Not Dying With You Tonight by Kimberly Jones and Gilly Segal. I read this. It's really, really good. And I need to remember to link. Kimberly Jones there's a clip on YouTube of her talking about what systemic racism is.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's amazing. It's heartfelt. Alex and I watched it and we were both crying.
Aww.
And it's only like a 5-minute thing, but
I want to listen to it. Okay, cool.
She has so much passion.
Yeah.
And when I first watched it, I didn't realize who it was. And then we were watching it. It has like the little, like it has her name and like then it says author of. And I was like, wait a minute, I've read that book. What? This is her?
And anyways. I didn't realize I got accepted on NetGalley for this. It must have been one of those ones that like it got accepted and then it went away before I could get it. So I am actually ordering one on Barnes & Noble. You can order one that's signed right now on Barnes & Noble online. So I'm going to go do that.
What?
Yeah, I saw that the other day.
Oh, and just to be clear, Kimberly Jones is a Black woman.
Yes.
Gilly Segal is a white woman. And they each write from their point of views in the story. Like not them, but their characters.
Yes.
As a Black girl and a white girl.
Yeah, which is so cool.
It's really, really good.
Okay, the next one is Christina Forrest, author of I Want to Be Where You Are and Now That I've Found You. I just thought they were really cute and I can't wait to read them.
Is it romance?
Romance, contemporary.
Oh my goodness.
Very cute.
All right, next one is Keith Lehman, Heavy, an American Memoir. I did want to throw in a couple nonfictions in here. Yeah. I have this one on my shelf. And it's gotten a ton of awards, so I feel like it's definitely worth mentioning.
Yeah. Next is the infamous L.L. McKinney of the Nightmareverse series. It's a take, basically, of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. The Buffy the Slayer went to Wonderland. Yeah. And it's so good. And we want to date the Mad Hatter.
Yes.
And
I've always loved the Mad Hatter character, and it never fails.
Well, then also,
you made
him emo. Are you kidding me?
Right.
Do you know us? I'm down.
Cool emo dude.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. My next pick is The Undead Girl Gang by Lily Anderson. I love this. I love like found family kind of stories. And it's a group of girls.
Yeah.
You know? I just love it.
Yes.
So I'm going to read the synopsis.
Okay.
Mia Flores and her best friend Riley have always been inseparable. There's not much excitement in their small town of Cross Creek, so Mia and Riley make their own fun, devoting most of their time to Riley's favorite activity, amateur witchcraft. So when Riley and two Fairmount Academy mean girls die under suspicious circumstances, Mia refuses to believe everyone's explanation that her BFF was involved in a suicide pact. Instead, armed with a tube of lip gloss and an ancient grimoire, Mia does the unthinkable to uncover the truth. She brings the girls back to life. Unfortunately, Riley, June, and Dayton have no recollection of their murders, but they do have unfinished business to attend to. Now, with only 7 days until the spell wears off and the girls return to their graves, Mia must wrangle the distracted group of undead teens and work fast to discover their murderer before the killer strikes again. It's got zombies. It's got a gang of girls. And it's got, the mean girls, but now they're undead, so...
Oh, it sounds so good.
I loved it. I really love this. And I love the cover.
Yes.
I love that it's a jean jacket with enamel pins. Because
right.
I want every one of those enamel pins to be real.
Yep. Okay, the next honorable mention is You Should See Me in a Crown by Lee, I can't see the rest of it, Johnson.
Sorry.
We do it all the time.
I ordered that one too.
Yeah?
I have a copy of that one too sitting there. It's so pretty. I love the cover.
It is. It's so pretty.
Okay. The next is Dear Haiti, Love Elaine by Makeup Moonlight.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. This one comes out September 3rd.
The next one is Maya Angelou, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings.
It's a very... No, I don't want to say very old book, but it is. It's a classic.
Yeah.
And another one I have on my shelf that I just need to force myself to read all these books.
I know.
Where's the time? I need more time. Next honorable mention is Color Me In by Natasha Diaz.
And after that is Nick Stone, Dear Martin, and Nick has a ton of other books out there.
I just ordered another one for the boys. It's a middle grade. It's a road trip one, and I can't think of what it's called, but it looks adorable.
So many books.
My next pick is the Binti series by Nnedi Okorafor. I actually read the first one because they're novellas.
Okay.
So you can breeze through them really fast. And the story, I just cannot believe the amount of detail that this woman puts in. And like, I'm not like the book is like this thin. I mean, it's like 80 pages or something, maybe 90, but it's just insane. You're immersed in this world so quickly.
Yeah.
So the synopsis. Her name is Binti, and she is the first of the Himba people ever to be offered a place at Umza University, the finest institution of higher learning in the galaxy. But to accept the offer will mean giving up her place in her family to travel between the stars among strangers who do not share her ways or respect her customs. Knowledge comes at a cost, one that Binti is willing to pay, but her journey will not be easy. The world she seeks to enter has long warred with the Meduse, an alien race that has become the stuff of nightmares. Umza University has wronged the Meduse, and Binti's stellar travel will bring her within their deadly reach. If Binti hopes to survive the legacy of a war not of her making, she will need both the gifts of her people and the wisdom enshrined within the university itself. But first, she has to make it there alive.
Oh, that sounds so good.
It's so good.
I love world building.
I love it. And I'm on the second book, which is Binti Home. But like I said, they're novellas, so you can breeze through them.
Yeah.
I just get distracted by other books.
Well, you have other things you have to go back and forth. Yeah,
Right.
I totally get that. Okay, the next honorable mention is Nicola Yoon, Everything, Everything, and the Sun is Also a Star.
Yay. And
Love
next
her.
we have When the Stars Lead to You by Ronnie Davis.
And then Girls Like Us by Randy Pink.
A Song of Wraiths and Ruin by Roseanne Brown. This one has a pretty cover. And
Oh,
it just
it's so
came
pretty.
out.
It just came out. Check it out. So I changed my pick at the last minute. It is Tracy Dion, Legendborn. It comes out September 15th. I pre-ordered it and it looks so good. It is another one of those I must be into retelling right now. Retelling fantasy YA.
Ooh.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. This is the one we talked about earlier, right? A retelling of is it King Arthur? Is that what you said?
Yes. So
Okay.
after her mother dies in an accident, 16-year-old Bree Matthews wants nothing to do with her previous life, family, memories, or her childhood home. A residential program for bright high schoolers at a local university seems like the perfect escape until Bree witnessed a magical attack at her very first night on campus. A flying demon feeding on human energies.
What?
A secret society of so-called legend-born students that hunt the creatures down, and a teenage mage who calls himself a Merlin and who attempts and fails to wipe Bree's memory of everything she saw. A mage's failure reveals Bree's own unique magic and unlocks a buried memory of hidden connection. The night her mother died, another Merlin was at the hospital. Now that she knows there's no more to her mother's death than what's on the police report.
There's more.
There's more. Sorry. No, I was like, that doesn't say.
That changes things.
It does. She knows there's more to her mother's death than what's on the police report. Bree will do whatever it takes to find out the truth, even if it means infiltrating the Legendborn by becoming one of their initiates. But when the Legendborn reveals themselves as the descendants of King Arthur and his knights and explains that a magical war is coming, Bree has to decide how far she'll go for the truth and whether she should use her magic to take the society down or join the fight.
Oh my god.
Right?
Sounds so good. The cover really reminds me of Renegades, though.
It does. It
Yeah.
does with the color schemes.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and then I love the magic coming off of
Mhm.
her and her. Oh, I just love it.
This looks so good. Why did I not hear about this before?
I ran across it on NetGalley and got accepted, and that's kind of how I went down the rabbit hole of like, how did I hadn't heard about it until it was on NetGalley, so it looks so good. So
It really
I had to
does.
pre-order it.
Oh my goodness. Okay, now we have a bunch of honorable mentions.
Yes.
Tiffany D. Jackson's Allegedly and Monday's Not Coming.
Monday's Not Coming is new, and it looks so good.
It does.
And then the infamous Tomi Adeyemi, Legend of the Orisha series.
Orisha?
Orisha.
I always said it as Orisha. I don't know if that's right.
I like Orisha better. And we met her at the New York City Fierce Reads party.
Yes. She's so sweet.
She's
She was
so
just
sweet. And we all gushed about how we love enemies to lovers.
Yes.
That's how basically someone said it, and then we all just got off track real fast on how much we love that trope.
And then next is T. Franklin's Bingo Love. It's a graphic novel. I have it, and I haven't read it, and the only reason is because I've heard a lot of people say it's gonna make me cry.
Oh,
but
so when you're needing
super sweet.
When you're needing sometimes you need a good cry.
Sometimes you do, and then sometimes you're like me and you avoid crying altogether. As much as you can.
Ugh, when it becomes that time of the month, I need a cry. So I definitely like force myself to do it.
Probably let it out a little bit more, but usually I'm just like, no, nope.
Get back in there.
Not gonna do it.
The next honorable mention is The Water Dancer by Ta-Nehisi Coates.
Yes.
Did I say that right? Ta-Nehisi Coates.
Ta-Nehisi.
Yes,
I'm not sure. But
I wrote the last name. Coates or Coates?
I don't know.
Okay, sorry. But yeah, that one looks so good too.
It really does.
I have it on my TBR.
I have a copy.
You have a copy?
Yes.
You suck. Okay, continue.
And then our last of single books, I don't know how I want to say this. Anyways, with one author.
Yes.
Whatever. Anyways, is A Love-Hate Thing by Whitney D. Grandison.
Yeah. And there's obviously so many more. I mean, we're already way over on time. So let's go really quick into the anthologies featuring Black authors. Obviously, I trimmed it down because we did an anthology series. So I tried to take all the ones we talked about that didn't really have to do with mainly like the movement. Mm-hmm. So we'll go through those. Black Enough, Stories of Being Young and Black in America. I'm currently reading this.
You are? I just got my copy.
Oh, so you got your fifth. I got an audiobook.
Oh, really?
Yes, because I wanted to hear the different voices. Yeah,
does each author read their own story? Oh, okay.
But there is different voices for each.
Okay.
And I'm loving it.
Really?
I am feeling so many emotions, first of all. I'll go through.
Read it at work.
So don't read it at work. So basically, I'm gonna go through. They're called tracks. So I'm track 3, track 4, track 5, and track 6. So the first two are obviously the intros. The first one is by Renee Watson. It's Half a Moon. It's so good. It's about half sisters at camp and their interactions. It was heartwarming. Track 4 is Black Enough by Varian Johnson. It's basically a black kid who has a summer crush, and the summer crush is very much into the movement. He is kind of lives in a white community, is not affected by it, and that's really interesting. Track 5 was the one that got me the most. I don't know if it's because it has to do with art, but it's called Warning Color. Okay, that's not what it's called. You can tell I was typing this in a hurry. I think it's Warning Color Will Fade, but I put By Face, and that's not right. By Lee Henderson, and it's basically this black girl at an art school, a prestigious one. It's like their legacies, so it's kind of like mostly white with a couple of black students, and she's an art student, and someone takes credit for her work. And let me tell you, I got so freaking riled, and I was like, if this just cuts off without a solution, I will write this woman and ask her what the ending is, because I get so passionate about that kind of stuff. I saw a lot of that kind of stuff in art school, so it got me. And the one I'm listening to right now is about a black nerd, and I just freaking love it. He wears a Chewbacca shirt, and it's adorable. Gosh. And he's they're at an arcade, and he's worried about talking to his crush, and it's coming off too nerdy.
Oh my goodness!
So I am so enjoying it. The different voices, and there's LGBT in it, and it's awesome.
I love it. Okay, our next anthology.
I love how I said I was going to go through them fast.
Right. Our next anthology pick is Our Stories, Our Voices. 21 YA authors get real about injustice, empowerment, and growing up female in America.
Yes, female.
I love that. So this is
nonfiction.
It's nonfiction.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm so excited. I love the cover. I'm excited to listen, and I think I've realized a lot of anthologies, I like to listen to them.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I've been noticing that I really like listening to anthologies.
I'm sorry, I just made that face because I thought the next one was called Up Female in America. I'm an idiot. I didn't realize it came from the previous line.
Yes, it did. I was like, wait, what? The next one is Here We Are, Feminism in the Real World. I couldn't help but add this one because it's feminism. And
this is the one that is edited by Kelly Jensen.
Yes.
She's an editor at Book Riot.
Yes. So I think obviously there are Black women, but there's also white, but I can't help it. If there's something about feminism, I'm going to add it in. All right, next one.
Next one is Take the Mic, Fictional Stories of Everyday Resistance.
Love
So this
that.
one is back to fiction,
yes.
right? Yes.
But I love the cover.
Yeah.
It's so cool. It has LGBT. It came out last year.
Dang.
And I just want to read it as well.
Yeah.
I'll listen to it. And then the last one, which I ordered, and I'm so excited.
I want this one.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
A Phoenix First Must Burn. And it is a fantasy short stories YA with LGBT. And it says 16 tales by best-selling and award-winning authors that explore the Black experience through fantasy, science fiction, and magic.
Elizabeth Acevedo's in there. Danielle Clayton, Danielle Page, Rebecca Roanhorse,
L.L. McKinney, Ashley Woodfolk, and E.B. Zaboy.
Justina Ireland.
Yes. So
there's so many.
It's so great. I just love it. I'm so excited. I've just been taking another good love of anthology books, which I realize are not for everybody because I gave Kurt's mom a love story one and she did not like it.
No.
The one that one you found for me at Dollar Tree.
Oh,
she liked the other romance book. She couldn't get into it. And I think it's because she's not used to them cutting off.
Is it the summer one?
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are fantasy too, so if that's not her bag.
That's not her bag.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so those are all of the ones that we could highlight in the hour 17 minutes that we just talked.
Sorry, not sorry.
I know. I'm not sorry at all. And I've just started just adding more to my cart in my brain.
Right. No kidding. This if this doesn't grow your TBR, I don't know what will.
Exactly. And just keep reading by Black authors. Follow them on Instagram. Keep up with what they're doing and support them.
Share their stories.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. All the things. Do all the things.
Do all the things. Read all the books. All right, we better get going. We've got more tea to drink and books to read. All of our social media is down below. Make sure to rate and review the podcast.
And subscribe.
Yes, it really helps us out. And we're very active on social media if you have any questions or comments or anything like that. And you can come get personal with us on Patreon. Recently, we're doing after hours episodes every week where we just kind of get real, really real, guys.
Real personal.
Very personal. Things that don't really fit in our podcast theme of books and stuff. It's more like questions about life and conversation and really just like an open space to be yourself.
Right. Things we're kind of dealing with IRL.
Exactly. All right. Well, thanks for listening and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you to our patrons, Nicole and Hannah.
The support on Patreon inspires us to keep creating.